Josh, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Your first Transformers movie with Mark, obviously
Yeah.
all the other was with Shia LaBeouf, so what was that like?
They're very different, Shia and Mark, in the way they work, for sure.
Yeah.
Shia is very intense. He's very much, he's very, very much about the work, and so is Mark. But he's much more laid back, much more of a, I guess, a regular dude. But I had fun. I had a lot of fun working with Shia. I really have an affinity for that kid. He's extremely bright and misunderstood, but so talented. And I thought that he did an amazing job in those first 3 movies.
You've spoken a lot about how your son Axel absolutely thinks that you are going to fight Decepticons when you go to work. Have you maintained that in the same way that we kind of maintain that Santa's?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would I? He thinks I'm cool. I'm not gonna, disprove that myth.
Oh, wow, that's quite something.
It is. It's like Santa Claus. He actually thinks. I remember the first time I showed him. I was in Atlanta like a month and a half ago, and we had these 2 adjoining rooms, and he was playing in the other room, and I was flipping the channels, and the first Transformers came on, and there was a scene where I was about to do this crazy thing on the side of this bike where I'm sliding this bike and shooting up at the Decepticon, and I was like, you know what, Axel, come here. So he sat on my lap and he watched it, and he looks up at me like, oh my God, you know them? You know those Transformers? And he thought I was so cool. I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
no,
you can't break his
I
heart.
gotta let him keep believing this.
That is so cute.
He's gonna come a time when he's 15 years old and he's gonna not want anything to do with me.
No,
and
just maintain it until he's that age.
Exactly.
If you can. I wish my dad fought Decepticons for a living. That would be amazing. I heard you also had a bit of a fanboy moment with Anthony Hopkins, which anyone I think would.
I did. So I was at Stonehenge. We're actually shooting 6 miles from Stonehenge, and we built our own Stonehenge, of course, like only Michael Bay would do, so that he could blow it up. And then on the way home, we were passing it. I wasn't actually working out there. They were going to go get some shots with Anthony. And I was driving past it. I was like, and I asked the guy, can we just go over there? It was a beautiful sunset. It was like a perfect night. And I went over there, and they let us actually walk around inside. Because normally it's all gated off, and you can't get that close to it. But we got some sort of permit to go inside. So I got video of like walking around inside that. And then Anthony Hopkins was doing the same thing. And I've met him before. I'd worked with him on a different thing, yeah. And so I was like, I have to get a picture with Sir Anthony Hopkins and Stonehenge. This is going on my wall.
Yeah, that's pretty
I totally
special.
had a fanboy moment. I'm not ashamed of it.
I have them all the time. Fangirl moments, not fanboy moments. I was asking Mark whether Transformers was something that he ever played with when he was younger, because I very much remember that my brother used to have Transformers, and I played with them as well, being a little sister, steal his toys. But was it something that you ever played with, or were you something completely different?
No, I did. I was like, I think 11 or 12 when they first came out. So I was just getting past like playing with toys part of my life and more into the playing sports and chasing girls part of my life. But I still remember watching the cartoons and having, I think I had a couple of them. But I remember just being really like amazed by, okay, wait, this is such an awesome idea, like a car that changes into a robot. And I think that that's what makes these movies work all over the world, is that boys have this fascination with cars and robots, and girls, obviously. And so, that's also part of the movie, by the way. So the idea that these cars can transform into robots is just something that I think is part of our DNA.
Yeah.
And that's really what has resonated for all these years.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Hey, thanks.
You were missed in the last one.
It's good to be back.
Good.
And it's good to have you in our little dark room.
I love being in your little dark room. Thanks so much for having me. Hey!
Zane's got a great voice.
I'll just leave it at that.
I've wanted to meet you. We haven't met each other yet.
Got some lipstick on your teeth.